Yeah,
Let's hear
he
those.
texts me, giving me shit on Sunday, like he does. He's always bagging on me and having a good time and poking me, and that's what I love about his sense of humor. Is so much fun. But as he's texting me, he's like, "Hey, I should have really pulled over and let AP go by." I'm like, "Oh, dude, like, come on." So I was explaining stuff to him, and he's like, he actually said that he considered doing that until the last 3 laps. He says, my last 3 laps, I went 10 seconds a lap faster than Chase. And the difference is he started jumping the finish line double and some of the other doubles out there. I'm assuming the one after the mechanics area, I'm guessing, and maybe some rhythms.
Maybe that one that Chase got, the one that Chase docked on, that table single. It was a traditional Supercross triple.
Yeah, that's right. So he started doing those. And he's like, the very last lap, I went a 60 seconds faster than I had the whole rest of the race. So, like, for me, like, the last time I saw him, he was way back there. I'm like, that ain't never happened. I didn't see him the last 3 laps. And then he's like, I'm just messing with you, dude. He says, but yeah, it was funny. So yeah, he went 1 minute faster the last lap. And the last 3 laps, he was 10 seconds faster than Chase. So that makes sense, right?
You know,
you did consider like
a hell of a ride by Coop. You know, like obviously picking his bike up two times, I think, that I saw. You know,
dude, he was so far back from, like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and he must have he obviously found a groove, right? Started hitting the finish line, started jumping a few other jumps, found that rhythm, found a speed that the only thing that I can guess on is found a speed that the motorcycle the tires were getting very cleaned out. He had more traction. He wasn't using the throttle so much. He was using a little more roll speed. We have a replay. I think it's a longer one, but it showed him going around Chase, I think, through mechanics area, basically. And you could see Chase, you know, pretty much cruising around. And Coop had a really nice pace around the outside. And that helps so much because the knobbies of the tires are getting all the mud's flipping out of those of the tires. And you just have more traction. But to make up that amount of time in this condition, let alone on the last 3 laps, right, is it's pretty damn impressive. You know, that's the dog that Coop has. That's what we always talk about. Never count him out. He's typically, I should say, there. That's the pass I was talking about. Just rode around the outside of Chase. But he's typically not the fastest racer on the track, but and you've said this, you know, so many times, Ricky, of how good or his stats are on the closing ends of the race. And we just saw it again, put himself up onto the podium when it didn't look like it was an option early on.
No, it absolutely was an option. I think he just, like, something clicked and he kind of said, he's like, I fell so many times, and I'm paraphrasing what he said, just and he's like, I just had to go. And when you watch, like, when he goes around Chase, I don't even think that Chase was anticipating that.
No way. He had no idea where he was. And what I thought was pretty interesting too is a lot of roll-offs were ran. I think Cooper ended up running tear-offs that moto. Pretty ballsy move for that main event to run tear-offs, because as we all know, we can get about 21. I know we can get 21 on a set of Oakleys. I don't know about the 100% goggles, but that's you got to figure. I mean, I can go off of what I typically. One of my boys asked me, "Well, how many laps would you do tear-offs?" And I say, "Well, in a mud race, you try to do 1 tear-off per lap, because if it's a 20-lap main event, you have 1 extra tear-off, right?" So it's tough. It's tough conditions. I thought that it was an amazing ride on those last 3 laps, just putting himself in a position to end up on the box and also extend his points lead.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to Philly. You still feeling it for the championship, even with these wild card potential open air stadium weather situations?
I am. I'm still a betting man on Coop's side, especially because of, I think that the conditions that we're going to see, even if we don't have a full blown mud race, typically it's going to be open air stadiums. They're going to be a little more ruddy. They're dealing with a little more of the weather because of the open air, and just Coop's riding style when he's able to cut underneath of everybody else's line that we've talked about a lot on the show in the past. It's an asset that he has that not many have.
Right. You some fun facts, since we live in a data driven world and we rely so much on data. And Cooper Webb, rounds 5 to go, 2025 versus 21 when he won the championship, and 2019 when he won the championship. Listen to this, RV. It's pretty incredible. So in 2019, in this time of the season, he was first place, obviously. He had a 14-point lead, okay, and 5 wins. In 2021, when he won the championship, he had a 15-point lead. At this stage in the race, he had 6 wins under his belt. This year, he's obviously first. He's 15 points in the lead, and he has 4 wins. Dude, look at the similarities there. Like
Yep.
that's unbelievable. So you just have to assume it's trending towards he's obviously the favorite. And the last stat for the 450 is this is gnarly, and we've touched on a little bit. Since 1977, the series leader after Daytona has won the championship 77% of the time. Okay, that's 37 out of 48 years of racing. Think of that.
That's crazy. When I was racing, same thing. It was Daytona was the turning point, and leaving Daytona in a good position or a points leader. That I know you were the same way, Ricky. That's kind of when the series, like, I don't want to say started, but that was when it all really shifted itself into the right gear. And anybody leaving Daytona in that position, like you said, is typically won. That's a crazy stat, man.
Yeah, and I think another stat that I saw from Coop is, like, every other championship that he has won, he took the lead, points lead after Arlington, and it's almost similar to this year. It's nuts. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities there, but still, if you're a data guy or stats guy, you're loving. If you're a Cooper Webb fan, you're loving the position that he's in. But man, these wild card races with the weather and these open air stadiums, just anything can happen. That's why we race.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.